And we are live. What's going on, guys? This is my cousin Hakeem.
It's my cousin Sadani.
And we are VI Viral. What's going on, you guys? We're back at it with episode 2.
What's going on?
My people, we are here from the beautiful St. Croix, Virgin Islands. We got some topics to talk about today. Some MMA and some interesting stuff that we got going on. So let's just go ahead and jump into that. So actually, yesterday, big announcement. We had Islam Makhachev and Charles Dubronx Oliveira will be fighting at UFC 294 in Abu Dhabi. So it's set in stone now. But we have a little bit of a change for one of the other big cards on that will be on that fight card that's not happening at UFC 291 coming up on July 29th. So Paulo Costa was supposed to fight Aleskov. I can't. How did you say this guy's name?
But didn't they shift that to?
Yeah, no. So that it's going to 294 now. So Paulo Costa will be fighting Khamzat Chimaev. So we were talking about Khamzat the last time, and we were talking about him not going back or going back down to 170. But if he's fighting Paulo Costa, that means he's going to be fighting at 185, and that gives him a legitimate chance to move up the rankings and literally shoot up the rankings at 185 because he's only really had one other fight at 185. So if he does this,
You think he beats Costa?
I think he can beat Costa, but the thing is, Paulo Costa is so big. He walks around like 235.
Yeah.
But so did Alex Pereira. And the thing is, like, these guys can make 185. I mean, Paulo's had issues making 185, but at the same time, Khamzat's had trouble making 170. So the thing is, these guys have trouble cutting weight because they're big guys. Paulo Costa has the size. He's game. He's gonna try to knock Khamzat out. They don't like each other.
That's where the fight at. That's where he's going to win the fight. I believe in order to beat Khamzat, you got to hands him up. I don't think you're going to beat him in a wrestling match.
Right. Obviously, Paulo Costa is not as good a wrestler as Khamzat. His grappling is not as good as Khamzat. And the thing is, if Khamzat gets you on the ground, it's the fight's over.
Yeah,
because and the thing is, like, he's gonna be rehydrated because he has trouble making 170. 185 is going to be a much easier cut for him. Mm-hmm. So we're going to see he's going to be a lot stronger. Exactly. So we're going to see a very, very strong Khamzat Chimaev, and then again, Paulo Costa struggles to make 185. Really, he should be fighting at 205 also. Like Alex Pereira is doing, he's very, again, he walks around like 230, and he's like 50, and he's like 15%, 12% body fat. When you see him, you can see his abs, when he's, off season. So the thing is, it's not like he's not in very good shape. He's not cut, but he still, dehydrates his body down to 185. But he does have enough time. It's July right now. That's going to be in October. That should be more than enough time to get him down to 185 and make that a real fight. So I'm excited for that. But he was supposed to fight Aliskerov on July 29th. Aliskerov is now fighting Imavov as well, who's ranked number 11 at 185, or number 11 or number 12. So the thing is, we've got some things, moving around, changing up because they wanted to make this big fight. Obviously, Paulo Costa and Khamzat have had a lot of beef. They've been perfect, jabbing at each other. This is a perfect fight to make. I'm glad that they made this fight finally. They've been talking about it. With fights being this far out, you got to worry about like things like injuries happening, stuff like that. So God forbid any of that happening, any mishaps, we're gonna have that fight.
We want that. Listen, we want that fight because we want to see Khamzat get tested.
Yeah,
can at this size, we're hoping, right? That one of those punches can slip through.
Yeah,
and create some adversity.
And I feel like Khamzat is going to want to strike with him. He's not going to just shoot him and take him down. He's going to want to strike with Paulo Costa because he doesn't like him, and he's going to want to show that his striking is real. And his strike again, he's done it when he fought with Gilbert Burns. We've seen his striking, so we know he can strike it. We know he can knock guys out. what does his power look like at 185? That's really what we're going to see right now.
Really?
So that's going to be a fun fight to watch. So that's really exciting. Also, this won't be on 294, but It's going to happen in Australia. I believe that's UFC 293. Let me double check. I'll double check that. But Israel Adesanya will be fighting Sean Strickland and not Dricus du Plessis. I mean, so this is the thing. Strickland is up there. He's in the top 5 because of what he's done. I don't feel like this is the best fight coming up, but we got to see it happen. Izzy's cleared out the division. Like, he's beat. I said.
So what was the reason for the African Duplessis now? Because I wanted this guy get
the African.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. Listen, and we've dealt with enough insult. Stay in your lane, we'll stay in ours. I wanted to see Izzy butcher him, just for the audacity of what he said.
Right.
And it's okay. It's okay for us to desire to see him get devastated. Just like when Mike Tyson fought who was the guy from South Africa? The White Buffalo.
I don't know his name.
Years ago.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah. Let me Google that.
Yeah, while we look that up.
But I want Duplessis to get kiss.
Yeah. So Duplessis, I mean, apparently his foot is swollen, which is fair, but the Australia card is actually, a little bit away. So the next one that's coming up is when Izzy
Francis Bota.
Oh, okay. So that's the guy you're talking about. So that fight's coming up. I don't have the date. Let me pull up the date for that for UFC in Australia. I think it's Izzy versus Strickland. Let me pull that up.
Yeah, it's Izzy Strickland. I'm not excited.
But the thing is, again, he's one of the.
Do I have to pay for it? Is it pay for you? Or am I going to just?
It's pay per view. UFC 293.
Well,
that's what I was saying. So it's going to be UFC 293. This fight is supposed to be happening, which is going to be in Australia.
I think because I like fighting and sports, I'll look at it. But
I mean, but it's look.
I'll look at it on like tape delay. I'll wait for the next year.
So actually, on that one, Tai Tuivasa is fighting Alexander Volkov, which is going to be a good fight. So we'll have Bam, Tuivasa, and Alexander Volkov fight. That should be a good one.
What Volkov? The one that just got through fighting?
No, not Volkov. Not Volkov. See, Volkov is a heavyweight. They have similar names. Alexander Volkov is the really big heavyweight.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And then he's fighting Tai Tuivasa. So this is the same card that Izzy will be fighting on with Strickland. Kai Kara France, who just lost a fight a couple months ago, will be fighting Manel Cape on that card as well. So UFC 293 Australia, it's kind of shaping up as a solid card so far. I mean, every time Izzy fights, he's going to put up pay-per-view numbers, so we'll see what he's able to do there.
This is just for someone who, it was probably out of field. Look, when fight fans want to see something.
You gotta have a championship. You gotta have a championship fight on the card, and this is a perfect championship fight for Izzy.
It's the crowd.
Duplessis, blood. Yeah, Duplessis should have been the guy. But I guess so apparently he's got a swollen foot, so he's got a foot injury that they're not sure. Maybe it's broken potentially. And so that's why he's got to pull out. But, of course they're going to...
A strong African foot.
Come on. That's the Dutch,
Yeah.
The Dutch,
What's up? What's up with that strong Cape Bull foot, eh?
Yeah, so... I mean, what do you think of that? Do you think Izzy just put Strickland out?
He's going to beat him.
Yeah.
He's got Eddie. And you know what? Strickland's cool. He's a nice guy. He's cool. He drinks beers. He says a lot of wild stuff out of his mouth. He's just I think he's a bigger version of Diaz and Masvidal, guys that are game, hot take, good guys that hot take, could say some slick stuff, but are they truly at that top level of competition?
No, I think it's a very mediocre fighter.
I think I have, and a lot of times I got to explain myself because it seems extreme and I'm very critical. But when I'm talking about these athletes, I'm talking about being compared to the top 10%. So if I say a guy's not good, Strickland will probably come and wipe the whole island if need be.
Right, sure.
But
compared to other fighters.
Talking about
right. Yeah. Of course.
He's at the bottom.
Yeah, and I think most will understand that, but for those that don't, that makes perfect sense.
But you know what? I'm going to have to reiterate that in all forms because we're going to be jumping on all sports. And I may say a guy like I'll say someone in sports will be like, he's trash. Yeah, no. To us, he's a superhuman. But in that world of elite athletes,
compared to the other athletes,
I want to make sure there's some clarity there.
Yeah.
So you know, Strickland's he's going to be game. It's going to be a nice fight. He's going to get beat up. I don't know if he's going to get knocked out. He's already been knocked out. His chin's loose.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, we're looking for excitement there.
Yeah.
So I just think, like I said, he's just trying to fill a card. He has the date. Wait, Abu Dhabi, he said?
No. So that's going to be in Australia.
Australia.
So that's UFC 293. So that's going to be in September 9th. That card is coming up. So the next card we've got coming up, we talked about it a little bit, which is UFC 290. Well, actually, no, let me not jump too far. So there's actually there's UFC fight night coming up this weekend. Tom Aspinall versus Marcin Tybura. So this is some heavyweight stuff. So Tom Aspinall last fight, he got injured. So he ended up losing because of an injury. I believe he had a tore ligament or broke his foot. So this is going to be his first fight back. He's the UK prospect that everybody's saying that's going to, kind of shake things up in the heavyweight division. This is another guy that I don't know is in that realm of a John Jones, of a Stipe Miocic, when he was there, over Francis Ngannou. But Tom Aspinall is new blood in the heavyweight division.
There's becoming an absence of talent over there in UFC, man. And I wouldn't say that hampering talent. We don't have big names
that have the name recognition that a lot of people know.
To track.
But if you're a fan, you know who Tom Aspinall is. He's a really good fighter. He's he moves very well. He's a big guy. He's like 6'4", 6'5". Moves very well. Has done a great job in the heavyweight division so far. Less the injury. But this is going to be, again, his first fight back. Marcin Tybura is a guy that is a good fight for him. Is a guy who's been in that top 10 of the heavyweight division for a long time, and is a guy that's going to really test him to know that he can move up into that upper echelon of heavyweight fighters, right? Because what's going to happen now is we need to see what it looks like after John Jones and Stipe Miocic fights, right? Who is the next up-and-coming heavyweight? So in the heavyweight, what you just said, you're right in the heavyweight division. There aren't a lot of big names in the heavyweight division that we really have to worry about. If we're talking about, guys like even Derek Lewis is fighting on the undercard, I think, on coming up for UFC 291.
Derek Lewis just lose to someone?
So hold on, let me pull up Derek's first. All right, this is the card. So look, he's fighting Marcos Rogerio de Lima on UFC 291, which is coming on the 29th. His last fight, he lost. Yeah, he lost to Sergey Spivak is who he lost to. He lost to an Archer. He's on a losing streak. I mean, to go from fighting for the heavyweight, and the thing is, that's how it goes a lot of times in the heavyweight division, is you have guys who they'll be at the top of the division, they'll be doing very well, and then they'll start stringing together losses.
Cycling these crash dummies.
Yeah, because a lot of big guys are just in the heavyweight division, like, it's just fat. It's a fat guys a lot of the time. So that's the issue. So there are guys that aren't as talented in the heavyweight division. Their skill level isn't like Derek was a knockout artist. He's super powerful, but it wasn't until he started to take it serious that he started to move up in the heavyweight division. And then once he started losing again, it's just he started a skid of like 3 losses in a row, like we just mentioned.
Where he should, that's it, 3 losses in a row. He should be somewhere fighting in a back alley. Well, I mean, why are they pulling him back out here for another paper?
Yeah, we just mentioned it. It's because it's very limited in the heavyweight division.
Once again, I mean, no, there are between boxers. No, I mean, but this is not different. This is not the difference. No, this is not the difference, because in boxing, there are a lot of guys like this that are in the boxing division. I mean, they don't get the recognition, which is why I just mentioned that he's on the undercard. If you listen to what I was saying, Derek Lewis is he's on the prelims now. So he went from being a pay-per-view guy to being on the prelims now. If he was in MMA, mixed martial arts, where are you guys? Let's go. Please stop having this guy.
I know I'm a heavyweight right now, but
you got a Achilles. Look, he has an Achilles tendon injury. I just chop him in his door. Chop him in his heel. He's fit. Nigga, you a hater. Chop. Listen, we need some Tony Ferguson again.
Yeah, he gets so upset when it comes to these guys who had a string of losses or were once great guys that aren't doing well. He wants them to be sent out to pasture. You know, you want they're like old dogs that need to be taken out to back in the back. That's his feeling. He wants to see constant and new blood.
No blood. The guys with winning records only.
Right. But at the same time, what starts to happen is, again, the quality of fighters, it gets lower and lower. So the thing is, these are still the best that they have to choose from at this point in time. So it's kind of the nature of the beast that we have to deal with, right? So the fact of the matter is that, yes, Tony Ferguson isn't doing as well as he used to be doing, going from a 12-5 win streak to having, a 4 or 5 loss streak. He's still much better than a lot of guys that
Tony, why don't you get behind the mic and become a commentator?
No, I don't want to hear Tony Ferguson as a commentator, man. He sounds like he's high all the time. He sounds like he's on mushrooms most of the time anyway.
Well, it is what it is, bro. But look, like I said, so we're going to card him out there for another behind whooping.
Right.
So we can cheer them on, the bloodlusting crowd.
Right. Okay. So like I mentioned, we got UFC.
Real fighting.
Yeah, UFC 293. It is going to be on Everett Strickland. It's kind of meh. UFC 292.
Aljamain versus Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Aljamain Sterling for the 135 title. Aljamain talked about the fact that he is going to move up. He wants to move up to 145 if he wins this fight. Also, Zhang Weili is going to be fighting. She's going to be defending her title against Amanda Lemos. Actually, you know what I just heard? Rose Namajunas. I thought, Rose again is also the former 115 strawweight champion. She is actually going to be moving up to 125.
Who beat Rose?
Zhang Weili beat Rose. Yeah. So sorry. No. The last fight, she lost to Carla Esparza. She lost her title to Carla Esparza, and then Carla Esparza fought Zhang Weili, and then Zhang Weili is now going to fight Amanda Lemos. So Carla Esparza has now beaten Rose twice for the title because what happened is that the Ultimate Fighter Tough, they fought for the inaugural belt, Carla Esparza and Rose, and then Carla beat Rose for the title and then lost it to Joanna Jędrzejczyk. And then Rose ended up winning it back from Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Yeah. She was the champ. And now it's been changing hands. So we have in the women's division. Yeah, so Rose lost it to Carla Esparza again. And the thing is, she was kind of very tentative in that fight. She just didn't do what she was supposed to do.
It seems like Rose is battling herself first.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, so a lot of people argue that she was groomed by her coach because he met her when she was very young, and now they're married, and there's like she at times she seems like she is very mentally strong, but she does have like demons that she's dealing with, and I don't know if that's something that actually plays a role, but it's a factor. And it's a fantastic fight. I love Rose.
Phenomenal fighter.
I love Rose. I love watching Rose.
I'll tell you that Rose, we love.
Yeah, we're just always going to keep it real, though.
It seems like you're fighting two fights.
Yeah, but now she's moving up, so we'll see what it looks like with Rose at 125, because then she can fight Shevchenko, who is, I feel, Shevchenko is now going to fight again to try to get her belt back because she just lost it as well. Not just lost it, but lost her belt, and now she's going to do the rematch to try and get it back. But I want to see what Rose looks like at 125, so she got to put some weight on, or maybe not have to cut it all. So so I'm excited to see what Rose looks like at 125 as well. So like I said, Zhang Weili is fighting Amanda Lemos. I think Zhang Weili wins that. She is gonna stay on top. Rob Font is fighting Yadong Song, or Song Yadong is how you would pronounce it.
Why, you say the last name first?
Yeah, in Chinese you say the last name first.
Oh.
So that's why I say Zhang Weili.
Zhang Weili. He spent like 2-3 minutes in China. I think he's mad.
2-3 minutes, 10 years?
He was over there teaching them English.
我真的会说中文。
哇。
Oh, check out this guy.
He's out there teaching them Ebonic. You are there teaching everybody
Song Yadong.
Trinity Song Yadong.
It's fighting Rob Font. I think Rob Font has that one. That's going to be fun to watch. Jeff Neal is fighting Ian Gary. Ian Gary, oh, they call him Ian Machado Gary. Interesting.
Machado.
Yeah, we know the Machados.
All right, but Aljamain, all right, all of that is cute. All right.
I think Aljamain beats Sean O'Malley. I don't think Sean O'Malley has any.
I think he watches them too.
Yeah, because Aljamain is huge, bro. You got to see, like, he walk around like 170. So and then even when he's in fight stage, he's like one real. Yeah. Oh, Sean O'Malley, the thing about him is he's good, and he's been built up to be a star. And they wanted him to be a champion for a long time. Again, we talked about this, about how do you lay out a path for somebody to get to the top.
I don't think that frame wins.
Yeah, well, okay, no. So
fighting alone.
Nah, I won't say that because he's long and lanky. Because he's very tough. He's 135. He's like, fight your behind 5'11".
Dude that you love that I can't stand.
Which guy?
That you said he's the greatest lightweight ever.
Oh, Max Holloway.
Because Max Holloway and O'Malley are the same.
No, let's think about those frames, those little real thin frames. Yeah, and they're long. Think of them long and wiry. Izzy's long and wiry.
Yeah, but Izzy's not thin like those guys.
I mean, he's so guys like mad. Like we don't say the island. That man mad. Like he could eat. I don't hey boy, that man. This is I'm going with Jimmy. I go with the yard. The yard he gonna put a beating on that man. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Irish he gonna beat that man. Yeah, and all the men Sean O'Malley. Yeah, I mean he's got good striking. I mean he's got knockout power for as wiry as he is. He is able to drop guys and knock them out. So we gonna see what that looks like. No. I feel like once Aljamain gets a hold of him, he's gonna take him to deep water. I think he's stronger. I think he's bigger. I think O'Malley doesn't have anything for him. So that's gonna be. I feel like that's a straight wash. Also on that fight card, we got some in that same division for 135. We got Marlon Chito Vera is gonna be fighting Pedro Munoz. He was supposed to be fighting Henry Cejudo. Cejudo has a shoulder injury, so he had to pull out. So now he's fighting Pedro Munoz. I think Marlon Chito Vera is going to win that fight. I think that's very clear.
Oh, we got Weidman.
Oh, yeah, Weidman. Oh, yes, that's also true. On this card in UFC 292, Chris Weidman is coming back fighting Brad Tavares. Chris broke his leg the same way he broke Anderson Silva's leg.
Isn't that interesting? Talk about karma.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And so he'll be fighting for the first time in now, I want to say 2 years now since the injury.
Chris, I was hating on you. Even though I kind of was rooting on you because you was a New York dude. And then on top of that, you had a little Long Island roots too. I went to college in Long Island. Shout out Sunil Westbury, Woodchuck.
Yeah.
So I kind of had a little bit for you. But, I had to go with, the great. And I was devastated when he broke his leg. It was crazy. It was crazy.
I mean, that was tough. Yeah.
So, you could listen,
I'm very, congratulations to him for being able to, make his way back. He had a very long UFC career and, former champion. Yeah, that's name one. So I'm excited for him versus Brad Tavares. Again, another mainstay in the middleweight division. So we'll see. That should be a good one. That's going to be on the prelims. Also, Cody Garbrandt fights Mario Batista. On there, he's had a rough go of it his past 5 or 6 fights. So we can see if he can start to string some wins together. He's been deciding if he's gonna go back. He's gonna go down to 125. He's gonna come back up to 135. So we'll see where his home is and what he decides to do in that fight. Also, I mentioned, but I didn't really talk about it. Ian Gary versus Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal came off of a barn burner fighting. I can't say his name, but let me pull up his last fight. It was like fight of the night.
Geoff Neal.
Yeah, we don't call him Geoff, but Shakrat Rachmanov. That's who he fought last, and that fight, dude, was insane. That's like if you talk about showing a new fan of MMA a fight. Shakrat Rachmanov versus Jeff Neal is a fantastic fight to watch. Ian Gary is an up and coming prospect in the welterweight division. Guy from the UK who has a lot of potential prospects. Ian Gary. Yeah, he's and so he's been talking a lot of junk. I think Jeff Neal knocks him out, but Ian is again, he's kind of been touted as that kind of next Conor McGregor from the UK type of deal. In terms of his in terms of the buzz that he started to create, but I don't know that he has anything for Jeff Neal. This is like a real test for him, and so that should be fun to watch.
So I do know that they got the ultimate thing over in UFC, and Conor has one team, and was it Chandler?
Chandler, yes, the Ultimate
Once
Fighter.
again, why are you carting Chandler back out to me? I don't want to see Chandler again.
Right.
Get rid of Chandler.
No, but the thing is, Michael Chandler is very exciting. His numbers suggest that people want to watch him fight. And the thing is, Conor's on a losing streak.
Connor's finished.
Chandler's on a right, but the thing is, Conor's still the biggest. I was just looking this up the other day.
Proper whiskey.
Conor McGregor is still the biggest name in the UFC and in MMA by far, bro. Do you know, when you talk about the top 10 biggest pay-per-views, Conor has like 5 of them.
Regardless of the sport?
No. And boxing as well. The only one, the only one that's above Conor is Manny Pacquiao versus Mayweather. Number 2 is Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. So Conor McGregor is a big name in MMA and in combat sports, period, right? So if we talk about like maybe the biggest fighter that everyone would know would be Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor is number 2. So you have to understand that as much as we talk about, we're going to talk about as purists, we watched this man lose and fall from grace and think, why is this guy still at it?
No, listen. I thought he was a great fighter. Oh,
yeah, in his time, absolutely. But people are still going to buy pay-per-views. People still want to watch him fight. And that's really what it is.
I will not.
Yeah, I mean, Conor is one of the guys that inspired me to get into MMA. So I'm going to still pay him his respect in that regard. But to the fighter that he has become and to the person he's become, I'm not a big fan of it. Of course, I don't know him personally, but with the craziness, brawling in clubs and bars and, looking like he's on drugs and snorting cocaine and all that stuff, that's not the image you want to be portraying as one of the biggest names in any sport.
It's hard to get out of the bed and fight when you got on silk pajamas.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor's worth $200 million.
Exactly, bro. Think about that, bro.
$100 million just from fighting Floyd the Great.
Yeah.
And it's making $100 million.
And it's probably, and I argue that it's actually more than that, because if he sold proper whiskey, he'd probably get closer to $1 billion. Like, just, well, here we go.
And then, hold on, Conor McGregor believes he is on his way to becoming a billionaire, having already made it halfway there.
See, he's got $500 million, actually. So the thing is, again, he's a massive name, and he makes so much money just off of anything he puts his name on. People are going to buy it. So, like, think about the endorsements. Think about, again, just the buzz of Conor McGregor just creates so much money. Just in general, of course, he's making bank like that, bro. There's no other way to think about
proper
it.
12. So,
and that's
$130 million in 2021.
Yeah, that's just that year alone.
He's already pulled in 650. This is why I'm closing in other. He told UFC Megan Oliveira, it's motivating. Obviously, Michael Jordan is at the top spot with the Jordan brand. Took him there. He's worth multiple billions, 3.3 I think he has made. I'm closing in on $1 billion now.
Yeah.
I think I'm at about 650 million all in I've made. And I think that Forbes estimated that. I have to probably do my own little check of that. But I fancy my chances of getting to that level. It's good to see,
Sounds like a leprechaun.
I consider that.
Oh, man.
Forbes was my goal of mine. And I got there, and we go.
So there you go. I mean, okay. So that's the reason why we're going to watch Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor fight, because that's a big money fight. It's going to make... Look, Conor there's not even going to be a title fight. He's going to be the main event. That's how big the name Conor McGregor is. So the fact of the matter is, like, you may not want to see him, but the fans want to see Conor fight. The fans want to see Michael Chandler fight because they know it's going to be an exciting fight that people are going to love to watch. I mean, Conor's got that steel shin down. We'll see how his leg holds up. And then Michael Chandler, again, he's an excited fighter, even though he's on a mean losing streak. And he's showing...
Tired of recycled fighter.
I mean, it's the nature of the beast, all right?
That is why MMA is added me.
All right?
I like MMA when it's top of the line, but all that other stuff, all the noise, I don't want to feel.
Yeah. All right, so this is going to be part 1. So we're going to stop here, and then you'll see us in part 2. So we'll be right back at you. Wow.